Never let anybody see you sweat.
So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Louis Manning claims he is owed additional fees after a client downplayed the amount of work required to assemble and move a queen bed. Elisa Cantoy says Mr. Manning wasn't prepared, so she's not to blame.
Okay, Mr. Manning, you are suing Ms. Cantoy for $350 that you say she owes you for services you did at her home. Tell me what services those are.
Well, Your Honor, the services included bringing a adjustable bed into her home and putting that together, and then putting the mattress on top. And there was actually more included parts that were not given to me or shown to me in the initial.
Well, initially, how did she hire you? How did you learn about the job?
She had a friend who recommended me, and okay. She sent me a text, and she told me about the job through text, and I agreed.
And what were the texts? Do you have the text with you?
I do, yeah.
Let me see what she texted. And did she send you pictures at all to show you what the job entailed?
Yeah, she sent me one picture.
Okay. It is both moving the queen-size frame mattress into my apartment, then assembling it, and it may be a two-person job. $175 an hour with a 1-hour minimum. Did you bring two people?
I ended up calling a friend, my friend Doug, who helps me out from time to time. He lives in the area. I did not understand that I would need help necessarily because of the picture. As you can see there, it looks like a twin-sized bed frame.
She had said that it was a queen, right?
Yeah. So I guess I kind of...
Does look like a twin in the thing, but she had said it was queen-size frame and mattress. So I'm not understanding. Yes, you brought someone with you?
I ended up calling someone.
You ended up calling. So you showed up alone, and then what did you see?
I saw the box there, and it just turned out to be way too heavy.
So then that's when you called your friend?
Yes.
Okay.
I also did not know there was a staircase, so...
She never mentioned the staircase?
No.
Did you ever mention the staircase?
I did not, but I did say it was on top, that I have to move it up my apartment.
Wait. Where did you say that? It says into your apartment. Where did you indicate that there was a staircase? Because that makes a difference. I'm surprised you didn't ask. Why didn't you ask?
If,
Like, that's the first thing you should ask in your business. Right?
Yeah,
but why didn't you tell him that there was a staircase and that he had to bring it all the way up the stairs?
That's why I was making sure he needed an extra person, an extra hand.
What was your plan? Because, I mean, were you going to be like a Harlem Globetrotter spinning a queen-size bed on your finger? Like, you know, this sounded like a two-person job, just like the lady said it was going to be. But in any event, you bring the guy, and the guy helps, and you have to pay the guy, right?
I do, yeah.
And what did you pay him?
$100.
How long does it take you to assemble?
I'd say an hour and a half.
So you don't mention that there's a staircase. He comes alone. Do you say something to him when you see him that he's alone?
Yes, I told him we will need another hand, and that's when he called his friend.
So the friend gets there, and then what? They take it?
They both take the boxes upstairs, and that was it.
All right, so then he assembles it, and you ended up paying him for 2 hours. Why?
Yes, because that's what we
agreed. It took him almost 2 hours to assemble it, so let's assume he had shown up with his friend. It takes time to get it up the stairs.
Yes, but at the same time, it was only the second floor. It was only 8 stairs.
Well, yes, I didn't expect it to be 10 stories and you not mention it, but
yeah,
what I'm asking you is...
I didn't, he said, because I took his word, he was professional, he said he would do it in 2 hours. So 2 hours for me worked.
You're the one who mentioned it would take about 2 hours. He didn't mention it would take 2 hours. I'm looking at the text, and he says, I charge $175 an hour with a 1-hour minimum. And you say, okay, great, it should be about 2 hours. Does that sound good? I guess he says yes.
Because I could only do 2 hours.
Meaning afford 2 hours?
No, I had 2 other appointments to make that afternoon.
What kind of appointments?
I had a nail salon and a hair style.
Did you
salon
miss them?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So why, when she says it should be about 2 hours, have you ever put together a mechanical bed?
Yes.
Yeah. So that you say, yep, that sounds good. See you tomorrow. Did you expect for it to only take 2 hours?
Not necessarily.
Okay. How are there 4 hours if the guy took 15 minutes to get there? It couldn't have taken you guys 2 hours and 15 minutes to bring the bed up the stairs. So how is it that it's 4 hours?
The reason it was 4 hours is...
Because you say it took you an hour and a half upstairs, right?
Yeah, an hour and a half for the initial build of the bed frame. And then she informs me she has this headboard and footboard and rails that she did not mention in the text message. She wanted to put those up. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that entirely.
Yeah.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
You know how to tell time. What did you think was going to happen? You're going to get 4 hours out of him for the price of 2?
Yeah, but at the same time, I was doing his job too.
And later.
How many drinks did Alexis have?
Alexis actually only had 2 drinks. They're lemon drops.
She had
it's
3
basically.
drinks.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought I was speaking.
Yeah, but she
No,
I was
don't
respectful.
just join in, please.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Lewis Manning, who brought Alicia Cantoy to court over moving fees.
How long did it take you to get the bed and all the materials upstairs?
The bed and all the materials upstairs, 45 minutes
Okay,
probably
and
since
so
getting there.
the rest of that 4 hours was assembling everything?
It was assembling the platform, assembling these new pieces I didn't know about, and also moving the bed
Did you
twice.
tell her at any point in time, you know, when it was hitting the 2 hour mark, lady, this is a lot more work than you mentioned?
I didn't consider that text message a binding contract. I figured that she being there in the house would kind of check the clock and kind of realize what she was paying. And, you know, it takes longer to do that.
Did he dawdle at all? Like, was he sitting around taking, smoking a cigarette and drinking coffee? Or was he working that whole time?
He was working. I did offer water because I always do that.
Right,
of
but I'm
course.
just saying, in other words, when he tells me he worked for 4 hours, he actually worked for 4 hours, right?
Well, yes, of course. We have to move the bed twice around, and so
Why
we had
twice
to take,
around?
Because when we assembled it, it didn't fit quite in the space where my old queen mattress was.
Why won't you pay the guy for the work he did? In other words, you had the money for 2 hours.
Yes.
You feel like he said, okay, but he did. He said, okay, 10 a.m. sounds good. And he told you he charged $175 an hour.
Yes.
And then you're there 4 hours. You see when the 2 hours are up, you know how to tell time. What did you think was going to happen? You're going to get 4 hours out of him for the price of 2?
Yeah, but at the same time, I was doing his job too.
How are you doing his job?
Because for the bed frame, you gotta do it all together because if not, it's gonna be unbalanced. You have to screw at the same time different corners. I didn't know everything about this. That's why.
So in other words, he was telling you, hold on there, hold on to that part while I screw this in?
Yes.
Is that what you mean by doing his job?
No, I'm telling I help him doing his job.
Right.
So why should I pay him more when I did part of the job?
Okay. She is suggesting that had you brought a second person, that a second person was not just necessary for bringing it up the stairs, but also for building it within a reasonable amount of time. And she did say it may be a 2-person job. Was it a 2-person job in retrospect, now that you realize everything?
In retrospect, after it was bigger than the picture and moving it twice, yeah, I needed her hand for a couple steps.
Okay, well, did you need her I'm so confused. You really thought you were going there just to build this, just to do the center part and not to put the headboard together and everything. So do you say to her, you know, this isn't the picture you showed me. You didn't show me a headboard. Do you say that to her?
I could have, but
did you?
No, I don't think it's my responsibility. I mean,
I'm not asking if it's your responsibility. I'm just asking if you did.
Okay, I did not.
Okay, and when you send a picture to him, this is all you send him. Did you mention you wanted him to build your headboard and all the other stuff?
No.
Because then he might have brought the second person and kept the second person who could stick around if you had mentioned that.
Yes,
but you don't mention that.
No, I did not, because I thought I never built a.
No. You know this isn't all you wanted him to do. You know that there's an enormous headboard and sideboards and there's a whole thing to build. That's all. There's stuff under that needs to be built. You knew that you needed that. Why'd you send him only a picture of this?
Because
And you don't say it's a two-person job. You say it may be a two-person job. What do you charge? Like it's, if you tell him the exact parameters of the job, maybe he would have brought a second person and kept the second person. But if you choose to try to negotiate that it be 2 hours by text before a person gets there, even though you know that he has an hourly rate, and then he's there for another 2 hours, how do you figure you're not going to pay him?
Again, I never thought it was going to be so complicated. That's why my friend recommended
But at the 2 hour
him,
mark, you realized 2 more hours passed, right? Did you ever say anything to him at that point?
Yes, that's why I started helping him, because I needed to go.
No, did you say, I only have money to pay you for 2 hours?
No, I did not say that.
No, you let him continue working for 4 hours when you know he's charging $175 per hour, right?
Yes, when we agreed 2 hours.
You keep saying that, and you have to understand that this is what it says. It may be a two-person job. It's moving a queen-size frame mattress into my apartment, then assembling it. You send a picture of just the frame. You don't mention that there's a headboard and sideboards and everything else that has to get built. He says it's $175 an hour with a 1 hour minimum, and you proclaim, okay, great, it should be about 2 hours. Does that sound good? He says, yeah, see you tomorrow at 10. Why does that mean that if it's not 2 hours, he doesn't get paid? How do you figure when what you sent him wasn't an accurate picture of what it was that the work was? I'm ordering you to pay the man the remaining $350.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $350.
Any last remarks for each other?
I'm sorry I had to come to this, but I think justice was served today.
Well, I hope you're happy with the results.
Coming up,
We might have beer. That's all Alexis has ever had.
How do you know?
Everyone in our family has this, where if we drink it, it makes us sick.
this is Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Marianne Williams claims her friend is to blame after her underage daughter ended up in the ER with alcohol poisoning. Stephanie Green says the plaintiff's daughter went out drinking after she dropped her off.
All right, Ms. Williams, you're suing Ms. Green for $2,500 because according to you, your daughter was alcohol poisoned and it's her fault. Tell me what happened.
This is really upsetting for me because Stephanie and I were friends. Our daughters were in college together from freshman year. That's when we met. I have a very busy schedule, so I have an extended family around me. I live in Chicago. She lives in Ohio, where the college is. It was a parents' weekend, and I couldn't attend the parents' weekend because I'm a school teacher. So I asked Stephanie if Alexis, that's my daughter, could meet with her and just hang out with them for parents' weekend. So basically, they went out on one of the Saturday night, and Stephanie decided that it was okay for her to serve my daughter 3 lemon drops because they were all drinking lemon drops. Now, before I
Your daughter's how old?
My daughter is 20. However, she doesn't drink hard liquor. We don't even have alcohol in our house. We don't serve it because there are several people in our family that have problems with like hard liquor. So occasionally we will have wine out to dinner. We might have beer. That's all Alexis has ever had.
How do you know?
Everyone in our family has this, where if we drink it, it makes us sick.
According to you, she's never had hard alcohol.
Well, this was the first time.
Okay, so
and she was rushed to the hospital. She had to have her stomach pumped.
all right, but hold on. At dinner, how many drinks did Alexis have?
Alexis actually only had 2 drinks. They're lemon drops. I mean,
She had
it's
3
basically.
drinks.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought I was speaking.
Yeah, but she didn't.
I was
don't
respectful.
just join in, please.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
And so she's always not present, right? I have.
Okay, no, we don't need to go into who's a better mother. Just
Right.
talk
Oh, I
to me
don't-
about
I'm
what
not-
happened.
I definitely don't wanna go
20-year-old
through
sitting at
there.
your table, underage, having a drink at a restaurant. A parent or a legal guardian, which you are not a parent, you're not a legal guardian. So technically
right.
speaking, ordering her a drink was illegal.
Coming up,
Is your daughter okay, I asked.
After she had her stomach pumped, she's now having more problems with her stomach.
this is Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Marianne Williams, who blames Stephanie Green for her daughter's alcohol poisoning.
After dinner, what happens?
Well, she ate the full meal, and then I took them in an Uber back to their dorm.
They go out.
Apparently so. Yeah, her daughter wanted to pledge the sorority, so they went to the sorority party, and that's where she got drunk.
What time did you get a call that your daughter was in the hospital?
4 o'clock in the
Actually,
morning.
you got the call first from your daughter.
Right. I dropped them off back at the dorm at 9 p.m.
And your daughter tells you, we've been drinking, we did this, we did that. What did your daughter tell you?
Absolutely. I mean, my daughter's in school. You know, she's in college. So my daughter and I have an open communication. But however, she was trying to pledge. Alexis was trying to pledge. And so she took too much.
Your
and so
Honor, stop.
at that point, that's when I said, oh my God, I'm coming to the hospital. Take her to the hospital.
How can you think that something that happened at 8 p.m. gave her alcohol poisoning at 4 in the morning?
After they left the restaurant, she doesn't remember anything after that.
Was she falling down when she left the restaurant?
The only thing she was doing was eating good because I was paying for a good meal for her to have.
Okay. It's not like she drank on an empty stomach.
No.
And then she walks out of your car, no problem, when you drop them off at the dorm.
Absolutely.
The
I had
RA
to sign
checks
them back
in.
into the dorm, actually.
Your Honor.
And just a second.
Okay,
And
okay.
you don't get the call about the hospital till 4 in the morning.
Right.
I think maybe your daughter does things you don't know about because she's afraid to be honest with you.
You know what? She has seen what alcohol has
Then why
done.
did she have the lemon drops? Why didn't she say
Because
no?
I just feel like she was pressured.
Pressured?
Yes,
No
I
one
do.
wants to
I
buy
feel
you
like she
3
was
lemon drops
pressured.
they don't have to pay for.
Oh.
If you want a beer, you order a
I
beer.
mean, what
if
you
you
don't
want
know
a
about-
wine, you order, because your daughter drinks, right? It's
Yeah,
not like your
but
daughter
what
doesn't
you
drink,
don't know about
right?
Stephanie is that
My
she drinks
question
a
is, your
little
daughter
more than
drinks, she
normal.
just doesn't drink hard liquor in your mind.
Yes.
Judge Milian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. This is Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
Is your daughter okay, I asked.
After she had her stomach pumped, she's now having more problems with her stomach.
I don't think 5 lemon drops would cause you to have lifelong problems.
Here's the
You get
thing.
your stomach pumped and you learn a lesson.
You haven't had alcohol before. A light lemon drop.
No,
A light lemon
stop.
drop.
Stop talking and listen to me. You are acting like your daughter is a 4-year-old child who was force-fed a lemon drop. I am not going to order her to pay you for your daughter's alcohol poisoning because you have provided 0 proof that her actions caused your daughter 5 hours later to go to a hospital. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you.
All rise.
Thank you.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I still feel that I'm right.
What's more clear at this situation is that you go ahead and, just like you put in new grades for other students, you put in these expectations that aren't real for your own daughter.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.